because we're
Sure.
already getting friendly. So tell me, how is life right now? We're going into 2022. Can you believe it? It's been, I think the past 2 years obviously have been crazy. They've been chaotic. They've been a time of a lot of self-discovery, whether you like it or not. And 2022 for a lot of people feels like a very rebirth year. I'm wondering if you feel the same, like that's going to be a rebirth for you, a transformation for you.
The last 2 years have actually been fairly awesome for me, which like a lot of people can't exactly say, I guess, about COVID. I mean, I actually graduated in 2020, so that was kind of like the very beginning of my whole like this whole pandemic journey, I guess if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Um, Sucked because I was graduating high school, and so that was like tough because you go through 12 years and then it's like, oh, and falls off the cliff, and
Yeah,
that's
it's like
yeah,
that TikTok. You're done.
yeah,
You're done.
exactly,
You're done.
exactly. So, but I've just done music, and I'm not someone who's ever really had like a travel bug or anything like that. So I've been very content just like staying home or just staying like in my hometown, Calgary, and working on my music and my art. And I ended up meeting. It was so funny. Like I was so worried about not going to university and then COVID and not having maybe like a community or a great group of friends, and I didn't have a ton of friends like leaving high school, and I ended up falling into the best friend group I could have ever asked for, finding a great community, people who just really encourage each other and have been so supportive over my music and my creativity. And so it's actually been a really good 2 years. Like it's been just a fully like immersed in being creative, which has been awesome. So
It is totally insane because some people have really thrived.
yeah,
And I think that it's funny you mentioned there's kind of an isolation that happens before transformation.
mm-hmm.
You've found yourself withdrawn, learned music or learned to find your own voice, found a few people who were seeking it as well. And now it's kind of like, well, now I'm going to reap what I've sown.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so then when you listen to your new music, what do you feel you've sown? What do you feel you've sown about yourself in particular?
I've worked with so many. I pretty much before we went into like this whole thing hadn't really written with other people very much, and so all my music was very, very personal and still is extremely personal. But it was a really weird thing to like meet someone on a screen at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday and be like, I'm just gonna tell you my whole life story, and we're gonna write a song about all my emotions. Nice to meet you over a phone. Like, and and so I think that was a really interesting process that took place, and I've just like discovered this whole new level of vulnerability, and that it's okay like to be vulnerable. And that's how like the best songs come out. And so when I listen to my music now, I'm just so honestly proud, like it, and I mean that in the best way of proud that like I'm able to do that for myself, almost that I can write and get through things and know that things are going to be okay. Once like a song comes out, I'm like, I'm over a certain situation or something. Like it's like my healing process, and sharing that with other people, whether they know that that's what it is or not, is really cool. So
I think this is like you're giving me the most positive, surprising answers because in a way, I feel like other artists' answer is that I hear my vulnerability, but you're saying I hear my newfound collaborativeness.
mm-hmm.
Like I'm hearing how like they'll hear their personal stories, like you say, but it seems
Mm-hmm.
like you're hearing how to make a pop track or something. Like you're hearing how to make a song a hit, not
Exactly.
just a personal take.
Exactly, yeah. And I think it's so cool to still have that personability in it and then put it into something not mundane, but like mainstream, like a pop track. Like, okay, I'm going to take my broken heart and put it in a pop track.
Yeah.
And then it comes out and it's awesome. So, yeah, it's very cool.
How do you find the balance though? Because I think that's the journey of every artist. How do I make this personal enough or me enough, but also like people have to hear this and love it and repeat it and even maybe dance to it. Where do you find the line?
I don't. I have an identity crisis every day. Like literally every day.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that actually I struggle with it every day, but I think that that is my line, is knowing that I don't necessarily want to be one thing every single day, because one day I want to write a ballad, one day I want to write a rock track, and then somewhere in between I do something else, and I think that's okay. And it's very interesting. I've seen like a few artists lately that, like pop artists wear cowboy hats, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. Like I love cowboy hats. Like I started in country, and so in country music, and so I've had lots of influences saying like, you got to be one thing, and I'm like, I'm not one thing though. That's what's so hard, and I think that the line is that I've found, and I'm still trying to like accept and understand, is that the right people are gonna love what you do if you love what you do. So if it's authentic to you, put
Ooh,
out what you like, put out what you love, post what you love and what is genuinely authentic to you, and the right people, the right audience will find you.
this
I
is
hope.
wisdom. This is freaking wisdom because on one hand you're saying that that very identity crisis is the line for you. Like if you are kind of like looking at yourself in the mirror like there's a million pieces in front, like it got shattered into a million pieces, you're doing the right thing.
Mhm.
And then because you're doing the right thing, the right people will find you.
Exactly. And I think that's what it is. I think it was on a podcast that I had heard someone say, like, they were so worried about people liking them that they would overthink every single thing that they posted on social media. Like, is this trendy? Are people going to find this funny? Do I look good enough? And then when they started just literally doing what they liked, everything just fell into place, and they grew and they thrived and people liked them. And so I'm trying to, I think that's my goal for 2022. Like I don't set a bunch of resolutions and a bunch of goals, but 2020 was my year of yes. Like I tried to say yes to everything that I could, which ended up finding me the friends that I have now and doing things that I never thought I would do. And I can't remember what I did. 2021, I think I continued that. Like I tried to do yes, but I think going into 2022, I definitely want to, work on that. It's okay to not be one thing. It's okay to be in an identity crisis because you're finding all your colors. So,
Okay. So if 2020 was yes, maybe 2022 is perhaps.
yeah, perhaps it could be. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll try it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that because it feels like you're going into your own future and you could hear it in the music with a level of surprising solidity.
Hmm.
And I say that because I personally have been feeling like when I listen to music coming out nowadays, there is this. I think 2019 music was a little bit fractured in terms of like people were talking about how lost they were.
Hmm.
And maybe it's just how life is, but like 2021 music is people are either more lost or they have found, a guru level of euphoria.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you hear that division of either I found myself more or I really need a map.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah, for sure. So when you think of, here's a fun-ish question. I, if you could do any TV show or movie or even book that you've read in 2020, 2021, that you feel, okay, this could be a great concept album, which would it be and why?
Ooh, okay, let me think. Sometimes I answer too fast and then I think of something better later. So,
No, I
um,
mean, go for it. Go for it. I feel like
uh,
the first answer is always the best.
it is. Yeah, I agree. I think, hmm, that's such a good. The first thing that came to mind was La La Land, um, which is just a very like euphoric nostalgic film, and it is filled with music. But I think just all the, like when I think visually of that movie, like the colors, the set, everything is just like it's kind of like this really glamorized version, but the movie is about such, broken people and this like hopeless romantic love story. And so I think I would choose that, I think.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, it has music already, but I guess, well, it kind of makes me think of Just Like That, like a little bit of that wanting something that can't be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean the other show that came to mind specifically for Just Like That, which I um took inspiration from for the video, is my all-time favorite show is called Dexter. And so I was like literally watching it
Dexter
before.
inspired that? Were you
Yeah,
crushing on Dex?
yes, I am.
You're like, look
I
at
want to
him.
marry the serial killer. Like,
Look at him killing serial killers. He's just so crazy like that.
yeah, I love that show. I mean, I love like crime shows and I love horror and thrillers and stuff like that. But I don't know, something about Dexter just is such a funny. It's funny. It has romance. It's freaky. It's disturbing because it's like, dude, like, why are you killing people for fun,
Hmm.
kind of thing. But the basically like with Just Like That specifically, um it is a very fun, flirty, colorful song that's like it's very like it's like I got a crush on you. Like I want you. I'm in love with you. I'm going to flirt with you until I get you. And I'm not really like that in real in real life. Like I'm not the person who makes the first move. I don't flirt with people. I'm like give me like 7 months and I might say hi to you. Like
You let go of your dark passenger for that
yeah.
one. You're like, you're gonna dominate. You're gonna be
Exactly. And so I was actually kind of creatively struggling with this song because I wasn't sure visually like what I wanted to do with it. And I'm like, I know that I'm gonna have a really hard time acting like super flirty, like I love you kind of thing for a video. And so I was like, okay, well, I was looking at the lyrics and the bridge is very like you can run, but you can't hide, you're gonna be mine. Like it's kind of a quirky. And
very
so
Dexter, oddly threatening.
yeah, exactly. It's a little threatening, like depending on how you look at it. And so I was like, hmm, let's make it dark.
Yeah.
And I'm in the best way. And it's funny, like it's dark humor kind of, but I just not that I'm would ever tie someone up in my garage, but it fit. Like I don't
You
flirt with
just want to make that clear. Like
yeah,
nobody's like dad
no one's
and
in my garage.
straps and
Yeah.
plastic in your garage. That's not,
Exactly. Like,
I just
I
want to
may
make
not
that
flirt
clear.
with you, but I promise I won't kidnap you either. But I did think, I thought, like, specifically for Just Like That, I think I would say Dexter because it was just it's kind of funny, but it's dark, but it's cool. So,
Yeah.
sure, we'll go with
Ooh, I love that. Like, I feel like the question was, what's a good concept album? And it became, who's a surprising crush
that. Yeah,
you've ever
exactly.
had? And you're like, Dexter
Dexter.
Morgan.
There's serial
Yes.
killer.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. And it's making me think because, yeah, I feel like Dexter is oddly a satisfying show because when you think of the true, I've been wondering why people love like serial killer shows and true crime shows. And I think Dexter's so oddly satisfying because you feel like you get justice through him
Yeah.
in a way. It's dark justice. It's, I wouldn't condone having
Don't
someone
do
in your
it.
garage.
Don't do it.
But you do feel like, okay, like at the end of the day, people got their just desserts. I may not like how he's cooking, but yes, go
But
forth,
yes.
Dex. Dream guy, my dream guy, Dexter Morgan. Yeah. So, going off of that note, I always ask, what is your favorite childhood memory with music?
That's a good question too. Um, Okay, two come to mind. One, no specific song, but we live on an acreage, and so we've always washed our cars at home. That's a very
Mm.
interesting start to the story, but we've always washed our cars at home. Like we don't take our cars to car washes.
First Dexter, now car
Car
washing. You're
washes.
going off.
You're like,
You're
where did
going
I
off.
meet this girl? I don't know.
You don't know this, but we wash our own cars. It's weird, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, exactly. So we've always watched our own cars, and my dad has always watched the cars in the garage, and so I have like very like strong memories of like being a kid going into the garage, and it smells like soap and like cherry polish for the cars and stuff, and blasting music in the garage, and him like singing and washing the cars and just hanging out like that. So that is definitely one. And then my second one would be driving in the car again,
Yeah.
cars, and then driving in the car, we always listen to music, always, and it's usually like we don't really talk in the car, like we listen to music, and it's loud. It's not like, you know, kind of like lightly in the background. Like we're gonna listen to the music, and so
Yeah.
um, when I was like 4, I would always request. I called it the yellow dress song because the girl in the video wore a yellow dress, and I didn't know what the name was, but it was Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, like We Never Loved It All,
Yeah.
and I would request that song, the yellow dress song, because she wore the yellow dress in the video, and and I think that like that song is like the first thing I can remember of being like, oh, I want to sing. Like that's my earliest memory of I want to sing. I want to be like the person in this song. So those are my two memories.
Uh, I don't know. Like you made me think. I think that it's kind of funny. I think that people think that concerts are where, music is really like where it's at, but I think it's
Mm-hmm.
cars. I really do because first of all, I love when memories have a smell and like the fact like the cherry polish, I love
Mm-hmm.
that. Second, I when I think of some of my best memories of music, and I've done a whole bunch of concerts, it really is the car with your
Mm-hmm.
friends or your family, and it's blasting, and that
Mm-hmm.
chorus comes, and you're singing for the life of you, like
Yeah.
you are the yellow dress girl.
Exactly. Like it's the people you're with. You're always in a different spot. Like you're in a different location.
Ooh.
You're with either different people or you're alone, and it's just you, and like you're in like literally a music box. Like the car is your music box. Like you're in a little tiny room with music. So,
I
yeah.
never even. I like, yeah, okay, so this is where I get like strangely complimentary. I like you because you are like positive, you feel light, but you're wise, which makes
Oh.
sense. Lightness is wisdom, but it's like, I don't know, I think that sometimes we expect really thoughtful, surprising answers to be kind of like dark and gritty. And it's
Mhm.
no, it's like, no, I like driving in cars with cherry polish and Dexter
Yeah.
Morgan,
Yeah, exactly.
an
Just a
inspirational
normal
quest.
human being.
Don't you know these things,
Yeah.
person? Yeah, yeah, I totally, totally feel you. So, with releasing just like that, like, what do you feel? Is there an upcoming album? Is there an upcoming EP? What does 2022 bring in terms of even more music?
Just more. I we like just as many as I can, I would love to release. And I think it kind of goes back to that like schizophrenic, like identity crisis thing of I'm still finding my sound. And I think I'm definitely on the right track. Just like that is a super fun pop track. But I also love ballads. I love, like, I'm gonna make you cry. And so, like, I wanna make you dance. I wanna make you cry. I wanna make you angry. My whole thing has always been, and some people get it and some people don't, and sometimes I don't even get it, but when people say like, like what's your goal with music, and mine is just simply I just want to make people feel something. That's what I say. I want to make people feel something, and whether that is simply a feeling of, oh, this is a good song, like I'm going to bop my head to it, or wow, I can't believe someone else feels like that, like I'm not alone, like I feel like that too. And whether that song could be the exact same thing for two different people, or two different things for two different people. I just want to continue making songs that make an impact, if that makes sense.
So, what are the top 3 or 4 feelings that you feel when you listen to your own music?
Uh, Evolution, I think, is a good word
Mm.
because I'll listen to songs that I've written 5 years ago and I'm still that person, but I know so much more now. And so I think that's
Hmm.
like a good word for that.
I like
Um,
that.
yeah, one of my favorite lyrics, like I wouldn't get many things tattooed on me. I have one tattoo that is Dolly behind my ear, and it's in my mom's handwriting, and that's her nickname for me is Dolly. And I put it behind my ear because when I read or anything, it's like my mom's voice in my head. Like I don't have my own voice in my head. You know how annoying that is sometimes? Like it's great, it's awesome, and I think it's because she always read to me when I was a kid. And so when I read or I think, usually it's in her voice, and so I put it
Mhm.
behind my ear. Um, but why did I say that? I have no idea why I said that, but I'm
You're
like,
like,
I know
why
what
am
I
I
said.
revealing things to you? Is this recorded?
Like I need to go back and listen to this later. um, but I listened to songs from so long ago, and like so. One of the only lyrics I think that I would ever get tattooed on myself is by J.P. Saxe, and he says, I loved you fully, but fully means more now. And the fully means more now is just something that like really sticks with me because when you're in a moment, that's it. Like you're just in that moment. But when you're 5 years from that moment, everything that felt full then, and it was full, you've
Feels
grown
fuller.
so much. It's so much more now. And so I think that that's kind of how I look at my songs. It's like evolution of like, wow, I wrote that song when I was so heartbroken, and I'm not heartbroken anymore, but I know that feeling, and I'm so proud that that feeling has grown and healed. So, yeah.
Ooh. Okay, depth. Okay. Do it. Be deep. All right. Cool.
I could be happy. I could be sad. Like,
Oh my God. What's that song? I could be happy. I could be happy. I could believe. I
oh,
could be
I could be
there.
yellow. Is the
I
TikTok.
don't. I feel like I think according to TikTok.
Yeah.
Give me
Me
a
too.
job, TikTok. Clearly, you've rocked my brain. But
Exactly.
I
Thank you.
always and interviews with like moonology cards, like for affirmations that people might need. And I pulled for you and you got meditate and contemplate, a new moon in Pisces. So basically, like what this means is, Pisces, they're very thoughtful, they're very feeling oriented. So when a new moon comes, it's a new phase. It's kind of like release all these feelings and sift through them because you got another card, which is another full moon in Pisces, balance, spirituality, and practicality. It feels like whatever's coming in this year is about you're going to have a lot on your plate. And in order to evolve, you have to sift through the feelings.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like know which ones to put aside, know which ones to make fuller, because if you don't, the amount of things coming your way are going to bombard you and you're going to
Mm-hmm.
feel too much and you're going to walk away and
Yeah.
you're going to be like bad isolation, not like thoughtful, creative isolation, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys can't find me. I don't take emails anymore.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
get out of the office.
And then your last one is a new moon in Capricorn. So you got a lot of new moons, first of all, which means just a lot of things are coming your way. But you
Yay.
got it upside down. Like it says your hard work is paying off, like when upright, but you got it upside down. And I felt like that meant that it's kind of like paid already. Like you submitted the work and you got an A and now you're graduating.
Mm.
So it's kind of like when you wrap up all the cards saying you've graduated, now you're going off to college. Just make sure you have your feelings in check because they're
Mhm.
gonna get checked.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Ooh,
So fun.
I
Oh.
like that. Yay, go you. Go evolve. Do it, Dex.
Yeah.
That might be, yeah, interviewing Dex. Like that might be your nickname for maybe your fans should call you Dex. Low key. I love when fans have like secret relationship inside jokes with their favorite artists.
That's so fun. Ah, I love
Especially if I don't know it or understand it. I'm like, you guys, you go
you
feeling
guys
like
are
you
so
and
cool.
Ariana are
Yeah.
like
Like, you're
that.
gonna get in the club.
Yeah, yeah. But this was great. We did like 10 questions. We sifted through. It's been like 20 minutes. And I thank you so much for your time. And it
Thank
was
you.
lovely.
It was so fun. I love it. I've been having such great interview questions lately, and this was awesome. So you were awesome.
Yay, yay. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay,
Have an
good luck
awesome
and all. And
day.
I'll send you a link when live.
Will do. Okay.